Hey guys, it's me first thing in the morning before I've done anything to my makeup or my face or myself or my anything. And I thought what I would do is record listening to this video, which I cannot record on this computer for some reason. It says the name of this video is called Bases 25 Part 2 SSS Rachel, in parentheses, black goo. I have no idea what that means. But the girl on the video was cute, and I don't know. It had all these views, and it was at the top of the YouTube thing, and you know, they give you other options to choose from. And she says this girl says she's a test tube baby, just like that show, Orphan Black. You know, where they make those 12 girls all the same, the DNA, it's all about the genetics and the DNA testing and all that stuff. So she's a raw food diet, vegetarian, she doesn't do drugs, and she talks about how this planet is being taken over by some kind of an energy that's very dark and likes to eat human beings and their energy fields. Isn't that exciting? I don't know why I laugh at some of this sometimes because it's so horrible, but it's just like, I think you have to laugh at this because it's like the cosmic joke's on you. The cosmic joke's on you. Joke's on us, guys. We keep coming down to this planet to go through these horrendous stories, these dramas, these love stories, these pains and miseries over and over and over again. And every time that we get ahead and an enlightenment, which isn't easy, because so many things during our lifetime, our reincarnations on this planet, keep you in the dark, keep you in, they call it the amnesia. It is an amnesia. I got this new stuff. I'm going to show it to you. Maybe I'll just talk and then put my makeup on. and I'll talk about the video because it's interesting. It really is. Okay, so while I'm talking about my spiritual stuff, I'm going to try this new product that I like called VICHY. VICHY. And I got this product in this at either Rite Aid or CVS. And I had run out of my good stuff. And I actually bought this first by mistake. It was in a container, one of these. It's silver. Most of their stuff is in silver. So I'm at the Rite Aid, and I'm testing it. I open boxes secretly, and you're not supposed to do that, but I am awful. I do that. It's my big crime. You sometimes test things. Just make sure you like the smell before you buy it. You know, and if I test it and I like it, I will buy that one. I won't put it back and then get the fresh one. But this was really expensive. It was like $55. So I was testing it, and I'm like, that seems kind of nice. And this woman said, you're not supposed to do that. And I said, oh, I'm buying it. So she said, okay. So I had to buy it. And it was $55 or $45. It was a lot. It was between $45 and $50. It was either $57. Most of their prices are $47 or $55. Between $45 and $50. So this stuff is not cheap. But this stuff is the Lift Active Retinol HA for night. And it just seemed to have all this good stuff. So I bought it home, and I've used it. And for the first time in a while of trying stuff at the pharmacy that I wasn't happy with, I liked it. I was like, this stuff is good. And I think it helped my skin, actually, even though my skin's not looking great right now. But for a while there, it was helping. And I ran out. Now, this tube, this canister, where you press down on this and the stuff comes out, this is a terrible design. I guess it's trying to keep it from being oxygenated, the product inside. Although once it's on your skin, it's oxygenated. If it can't be oxygenated, then what good is it? But they probably have this way of pumping it out, and there's probably a lot of product left in here that's wasted. So I don't like this container, but I do like the product. And if Vichy Labs could put this product in something that was better, a better container, then I would buy it again. But I'm not going to buy it again, only because I don't like this container. I will buy Vichy again. I do. Okay, so then I got this other stuff that I So at Kohl's for $25, it was, I'll actually show it to you because I was excited because it was one of those kits. It's all done, and you just buy the kit, and then you have everything you need. And for $25, that's not that bad. That's a pretty good price. And it's Alt Check MD. And it had a nice sounding cleanser, hydroxy acid and vitamin C and calendula in the cleanser. So that seemed nice. And then it had the pads, when you exfoliate. And I felt like I needed that because my skin was feeling really, just not fresh and clean. And it was just feeling like it needed to be resurfaced. So, and you also get the free gift. I bought that when I was having that thing with the Chinese lady, the cute little Asian woman who was massaging my neck, who said your face is okay, but your neck needs work, so you've got to keep massaging the neck. So that company comes with this night treatment, which I found a little sticky. But she did give me this free triple oxygen energizing cream, which is pretty much, I haven't really used this energizing cream, and it also comes with this. But what I did use that she did give me, which Lily, my daughter, liked too. I suppose I'm not allowed to mention her name, so I didn't mention her name. Anyways, but teenagers, they can get acne, and she likes to use, like I do too, a mask every now and then. And then she found my little funny bubbly mask, which is this. It's one of these. You put it on, and it's basically a sudsing agent, and it suds. It's just suds, and you feel it tickling on your skin. So you're like, oh, okay, it's doing something. Like Snap, Crackle, and Pop with Rice Krispies? It's like it snaps, crackles, and pops on your skin. So you're like, oh, this feels good. But then you realize it's just a sudsing agent. I don't know. I thought it was like just a sudsing agent that didn't really do anything. But then it's the back of my thing. But then I used it again because I kind of thought maybe it does do something. I don't think it does anything. But it's fun to use it. It's funny how all these companies come up with all these products. It's just the whole place is a big science experiment. So I ended up getting Vichy again, only this time I got, this stuff is called Lift Active Serum 10. It's in this container like this, and you push this thing at the top. It's a little better than the other thing. It's a serum. It's clear. Yeah, I think this is a good product line. It doesn't sit on top of your skin like that other stuff does. This mulch, whatever that name is. If a company has a name you can't remember, you're probably not going to buy it again. They try to sound techy and high tech, but it's funny. They either go with really high tech names or they go with really supernatural names like pharmaceutical or organic this and organic that. There's two strains of skincare, and if you think about it, everything should be natural and organic because it comes from the earth, and yet it's not. So it's a funny combination of cyborg and natural on this planet. Don't forget the neck. The neck is so important. So hard to deal with and yet so important. Those people with those long, slender necks. I never really had one of those. Maybe for 5 minutes when I was younger, but always do your hands too. I always do my hands with my hardcore good stuff, whatever's the best stuff, because your hands are seen, and they do need help. They do so much. The poor hands, they do so much. So I'm listening to this girl, and I tried to make a video of her just talking. And she's this young girl who says she's a test tube baby, and she feels alone, and she's seen all this weird stuff that the government is doing, and she's at this convention, Super Soldier Summit, June 7th, 2013, and she says she's there to be with other people like herself, and she says humanity is all asleep, and we don't realize that we like to just think we're living in our normal life. And we need to think that to have a level of comfort, to have a level of not being so fearful that you're on the planet. You won't be on the planet. You would leave the planet. Supposedly if we knew what was really going on, we would leave the planet. because on some level we know that this is not our only life, right? So I'm just gonna turn on some light here. I guess you're just doing my morning routine with me. Like the old days, only now I'm this weird, dark, redheaded woman who feels like I used to have this head of hair that was all light on top of my head, and I felt like that was part of my whole light body bearing thing that I was offering with my videos, and now I'm having to offer my stuff in a different way with darker hair. Anyways, you know what I'm going to do is change my hair. I'm going to have a whole bunch of different colors. That's what I'm going to do in my hair. And I've wanted to do that for years and years, but I never thought I could give up my blonde hair because it always looked, it was easy to maintain, and it was natural. And, even though I put in some boxes of sun in on it or whatever, it still was basically my hair color. So I never thought I'd change it, but when I had my chocolate company going, I wanted to make my hair the color of what all the different things that were in the chocolate, which was super dark chocolate, a deep dark reddish auburn brown, the sunflower seed color, the sesame seed color, the white sesame seeds and the brown sesame seeds, and those are two different colors, and then I would have 4 tones in my hair, which people try to achieve. They spend a lot of money trying to get multiple tones. And then I would have this great multicolored hair. And that would be my identity instead of just my blonde hair, which was my identity. My kids could find me easily in a crowd because of my hair. And now I'm impossible to find in a crowd for them, which is weird for them. So back to the crazy, horrible story about the cyborgs and the police and the government turning everybody into... So this was the interesting thing that she said about this that I hadn't heard, but I think it seems right because there's something else going on here about the feeding of the humans and their energy. How is our energy consciousness? How is our consciousness food for these people? That's what I don't understand. And that's what I want to understand. And so, this girl says that when a human being raises their consciousness and becomes more evolved, which is the thing we're all trying to do here, that we become more advanced and better food for whoever is eating our consciousness. So imagine if you came down here and you did all this work to raise your consciousness and your vibration, and some evil person came along and ate your consciousness that you worked so hard to achieve. They just took it for themselves. What if that were true? Wouldn't that be horrible? You almost do it. What? And then what if they made you look? Because supposedly, when you feel negative vibrations, hate, anger, rage, they love that. They love that. They love the taste of those emotions. And they do everything they can to make you feel those emotions, like take your child away from you, or, abuse you in some way, make you feel injustice. That's a big one. If you feel wronged or harmed, you're going to get angry, and then you're going to do something about it, or you're going to feel it, and they love the way you taste when you feel upset. Ah. Ha 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 ha. Big scary laugh by a devil guy. So what are we supposed to do about it? So this girl says we're all asleep. And I think she's right. We are. We've been drugged. She uses the term amnesia. Because we are in amnesia. We don't remember anything. Everybody's always saying that amnesia. You're affected by the amnesia. Light beings, wake up. And this girl is a real life Orphan Black. Everything you see on TV is real somewhere. I'm positive of that, because they get these ideas from somewhere. And, starting with X Factor, X-Files, and that was the beginning of trying to get into our human psyche, that there's these bad guys out there. And we don't want to believe in these bad guys because it's just too much. What are we supposed to be doing? Running from bad guys all the time, This is another focus lately, because I asked every day lately, and I've always asked my whole life, What is the answer? What is the truth? What are we looking for? What is this place? Who are these people? What's going on? What is the truth of this planet? I want to know, and I want to know now. What's the truth of Jesus? What's the true story there? I want to know, and I want to know right now. Tell me right now. So I keep putting that out in the universe that I want to know right now. And I've been getting all these answers lately. Every time I watch a video or read something or about this subject, the answer's there. And I'm like, no more horsing around, no more beating around the bush, no more hints and guesses and parables. Just lay it out straight. Just tell me the truth. I'm ready, Because we're supposed to be down here trying to figure it out like a secret code, because that's the game. Figure out the secret code. And while you're playing your game, use this really great mascara, Double Extend. It's kind of like that movie, The Truman Show. Where you're telling the truth about everything. It's fake, it's fake. You're living in a matrix and selling product at the same time. That's crazy. That's funny, though. Might as well sell product. So, this is going to be a long video, I'm feeling. I'm trying to make this not so shaky. Sorry. So, what have you found out? Oh, God. So I've been asking about the religions. Now, I wish I had better eyelashes. I wish I was willing to put fake eyelashes on because I would look better if I could do it. But I have these heavy lids, so I can't really do it well. And then my eyes are awkward. I don't have these big eyes where you can have a lot of lid to play with. I have these heavy lids, and I can't do anything. My daughter, my youngest, has the best eyes. She can do anything with her cool big eyes, her cool big brown eyes, and she's got these great lids and these perfect eyebrows. Somebody thought we looked alike the other day. I was so happy. Because we really don't look anything alike. Except that we kind of have similar eyebrows now that I'm painting on my eyebrows. Now they kind of look like hers. She's got these perfect eyebrows. It's the weirdest thing. Because her father has these big, thick, bushy eyebrows, so she didn't get those, thank God. And so we sort of have a little bit, like, right through here is sort of alike. It's funny. I look exactly like my other two kids. It's funny how the genetics works out. So the whole thing about the genetics is interesting and something we need to think about and learn. And I guess what I want to do in my channels, in my stuff, my vids, is join with and help grow this whole team of people that is trying to break through the false thinking, especially about the religions. And I do believe you need to believe in something because it feels good to believe in something. We're programmed to believe in something. Did you know that we're programmed to worship? Did you know that the word worship means work for the gods? Which some people would say I'm doing God's work by being like a minister or something. But then on the other hand, it could mean work for the gods, like do their labor. Like they come up with an idea for building something and you have to do the labor of building it. Or they come up with an idea for a great product line and you have to do the work of building the product and making it happen. But they're just the idea guys, Kind of like the Americans and the Chinese and the Americans come up with all the ideas and then they go to these third world countries or China, which is not third world, but these countries that are more willing to work as slaves and for lower pay than Americans are, and but we Americans or anybody on Earth is the slave of these gods. Who are the gods? So we're starting to come to this place where we're breaking through to find out who these gods are that we've been worshiping all these years, in the whole Jesus story. And then this whole thing about the inserts, how they can insert dramas in our history to make changes or to trigger ideas and growth and spawn new concepts. And that I just heard yesterday and today from both Barbara Marciniak and also Wendy Kennedy and Nora Jones don't really say it exactly. Well, Wendy Kennedy said it. Well, they both say different things, but they're very similar and they work together. So Wendy Kennedy said it. She basically said this whole thing is a game by the gods. The gods made a game because the gods were bored and they wanted to play God. So they made up a species. They designed a species because that's how powerful they are. They can design a whole species. with business and religions and things to believe in, and they made up this whole thing, and then they played the game that they made up, like making up Monopoly and going down and playing Monopoly. You make up Monopoly, you design a board, you get pieces, you get little plastic pieces, you go somewhere and you have the plastic pieces made. You get them made in China. How much of our stuff is made in China? You know, most of it, almost everything. Right? So so they made our game pieces. So somebody made the game pieces. Well, in this game, you reproduce your game pieces. You become a family, like that thing with the car, like The Sims, like the game of life with the little car and the mother and the little stick, mother, father, and the little kids in the back of the car, right? Hello, 1950s. And then we raise these families in these houses with our perfect kid, 2.5 kids, and then our struggle to go to college and pay for college and carry on, and the whole thing is a big game. In the meantime, the playing board is so amazing. Planet Earth, Gaia, Terra, whatever you want to call the goddess of the earth. In the meantime, the playing field is flooded with, resources, energy, crystals and oil and rice and wheat and food and earth and soil and rock and cement. You can make plastics. I still don't know how. They make the plastics from oil. So, oil. Oil is the blood of the earth. Our blood is the blood of humanity, and the blood is really important. So the whole thing about how they eat us, these back to the eating of the humans, because we eat cows and pigs, so we're not one to judge on who eats what. We judge ourselves for eating each other, because that's cannibalism and that's against the law. But would pigs eat each other? If a pig was at the pig trough, and there was a bunch of food in the pig trough, my understanding is the pig would eat anything in the trough, including a dead human body. They don't care. They just eat everything. Eat. Crunch. Manja. Right? So, we're eating everything. The Japanese eat everything. They eat every bug and creature in the sea. Every squiggly, wiggly thing. They eat it. They eat everything. They eat everything. We eat everything we can get our hands on, if it tastes good, and we are food. We are probably extremely tasty. I don't know if you've ever licked or tasted your own blood when you have a cut and you heal it with your own magical kiss and the saliva in your mouth, but you can taste the blood and it's sweet. You know how bacon tastes really good? Why does bacon taste so good? What do humans taste like? Blah! But the more interesting part of it, I can get it if they say they eat humans. I get it. 7,000, all these people died of Ebola in Africa. What happens to all those bodies? When there's a war and there's all these people that die, what happens to all those bodies? Dinner. Maybe the galactic supermarket gets filled up with human thighs. Yum, yum, yum. Deep fried, crispy human forearms. Imagine those chicken wings being crisped. Yum, yum. What about human thoughts? What if your blood, like I've said this before, if Jesus was real, wouldn't he have really enlightened blood? Wouldn't his blood have better DNA than the rest of ours? Wouldn't he have, or the saint, any of the saints, if they were real? Who were the saints? They were the gods? I don't know. There's this whole thing about learning about the gods. Okay, so this thing about the Anunnaki. Okay, everything, supposedly all the wars are Anunnaki. Anything that has to do with war on this planet is designed by Anunnaki. That the Anunnaki, they are the gods who wrote the books. They're the ones who made up the whole Jesus story. They did. Pleiadians were involved in this. The Pleiadians, the Anunnaki comes from the Pleiades. The Anunnaki they took this planet over and they wanted to use it and take it over for themselves, and they basically did. And then, but because they were having intercourse with the humans, their DNA got in our system. Now maybe there's a lot of DNA in our system from a lot of species here, probably. And the Pleiadians are largely somehow responsible for a lot of the mucky muck that's gone on this planet. But they don't really come out and say it, but they're about to. And Barbara Marciniak channels this character she calls the Peas. I bet you those guys coming in and channeling are Pleiadians. I bet those are reptilians, but the good kind, or the kind that are, there are good reptilians and bad reptilians. There's good reptilians that are, helping humanity, and bad reptilians that are helping humanity. So I have a phone call. Oh, so I will call you back. I'll talk to you in a little bit.